A person who truly loves you will always ask you two questions, not because they are curious, but because your answer matters to their heart. Think about that for a moment. In a world where people ask, "What can you do for me?" the person who genuinely loves you asks something completely different. They don't measure your worth by your success, your appearance, or what you can give them. Instead, they quietly search for something deeper. Have you ever met someone who checked on you when everyone else only noticed your achievements? Someone who seemed more concerned about your peace than your performance? Most people spend years trying to figure out whether someone truly loves them. They look for grand gestures, expensive gifts, romantic words, and dramatic promises. But real love rarely announces itself that way. Real love hides in simple conversations, in ordinary moments, in questions that seem small but reveal everything. Tonight, I want to show you the two questions that almost every genuinely loving person asks. Questions so powerful that they separate true affection from temporary attraction. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Many people who say, "I love you," never ask these questions at all, because love is not proven by how intensely someone feels in a moment. Love is proven by what they consistently care about. So stay with me until the end, because once you understand these two questions, you'll never look at relationships the same way again. You may even realize that someone in your life has been showing you genuine love all along, or discover that someone you trusted never truly did. Part 1. The first question, are you okay? The deepest form of love begins when someone cares about your inner world, not just your outer life. Imagine you're standing in a crowded room. People are laughing. Conversations fill the air. Everyone seems interested in what you're doing, where you're going, and what you've achieved. But inside, you're struggling. Maybe you're carrying stress no one can see. Maybe you're fighting a battle you haven't told anyone about. Maybe you're smiling simply because you're tired of explaining your pain, and then someone approaches you. They don't ask about your job. They don't ask about your money. They don't ask about your status. Instead, they look directly into your eyes and ask, "Are you okay?" Not as a greeting, not as a formality, but as a genuine invitation for honesty. This question is powerful because it recognizes something many people ignore: the existence of your emotional world. The philosopher Carl Jung once suggested that people wear masks to navigate society. Most interactions happen between masks, but genuine love seeks the person behind the mask. Think about the difference. Someone who likes your success asks about your accomplishments. Someone who loves you asks about your well-being. One is interested in your performance, the other is interested in your humanity. In today's world, people often feel more connected than ever digitally and more disconnected than ever emotionally. We can post hundreds of photos and still feel unseen. That's why the simple question, "Are you okay?" has become rare. It requires attention, it requires empathy, it requires emotional investment. A person who truly loves you notices changes others miss. They hear the sadness hidden inside your laughter. They recognize exhaustion behind your smile. They sense silence when your words sound normal. Like a gardener noticing the first signs of a struggling plant, they pay attention to your emotional health before visible damage appears. Because love is not just enjoying someone's sunshine. Love is worrying about them during their storms. And here's something remarkable. Sometimes the greatest proof of love is not solving your problems. It's simply caring enough to ask about them. The people who genuinely love you want to know how your heart is doing because your happiness affects them too. Your pain becomes their concern. Your struggles become their burden. Your peace becomes their priority, and that is why the first question reveals so much, because when someone repeatedly asks, "Are you okay?" they are quietly saying, "Your feelings matter to me. Your suffering matters to me. You matter to me." Part 2, the second question. What can I do for you? Anyone can say, "I love you," but only a few people are willing to carry a piece of your burden. There is a moment in every relationship when words stop being enough. A person can promise loyalty, they can speak beautifully, they can make you feel special for a while, but eventually life arrives. Problems appear, stress enters, pain knocks on the door, and that's when true love reveals itself. Not through poetry, not through romance, but through one simple question. What can I do for you? At first, it sounds ordinary, almost too ordinary, yet hidden inside these 6 words is one of the purest expressions of love a human being can offer. Because this question shifts the focus away from the self. Most people unconsciously ask, what can I get? What do I gain? How does this benefit me? But genuine love asks, how can I help? How can I ease your burden? How can I make this difficult journey a little lighter for you? The ancient philosopher Lao Tzu wrote that the best way to lead is through service. In many ways, love follows the same principle. Real love serves. Not because it is forced, not because it expects repayment, but because caring naturally creates a desire to contribute. Think about a mother sitting beside a sick child throughout the night. Think about a friend driving across town just because you needed someone to talk to. Think about a partner who notices you're exhausted and quietly handles responsibilities without being asked. These actions are all different forms of the same question. What can I do for you? And here's what makes this question so rare. Helping someone requires sacrifice. It costs time, it costs energy, it sometimes costs comfort. Many people enjoy receiving love, far fewer enjoy giving it. That is why service often becomes the true test of affection. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that human beings were created to help one another. A person who genuinely loves you lives by this principle, even if they've never read a single philosophical book. When you struggle, they don't disappear. When life becomes inconvenient, they don't suddenly become unavailable. When darkness enters your world, they don't run toward easier company. Instead, they stay, not because they have all the answers, but because your suffering matters to them. And sometimes the most beautiful thing about love is not what someone says. It's the fact that they choose to stand beside you when leaving would be easier. Because asking, "What can I do for you?" is really another way of saying, you don't have to carry this alone. And for a heart that has felt abandoned before, those words can mean everything. Part 3. Why most people never ask these 2 questions. The painful truth is that many people want the benefits of love without accepting the responsibility that comes with it. Have you ever wondered why so many relationships begin with excitement but end with disappointment? Why do some people shower others with attention in the beginning, only to become distant when life becomes difficult? The answer may be uncomfortable. Because attraction is easy. Love is difficult. Attraction is about how someone makes you feel. Love is about caring how they feel. And those are not the same thing. Many people enter relationships searching for happiness, validation, security, or escape from loneliness. They are looking for someone to fill an emptiness inside themselves. At first, everything feels magical. Conversations last for hours. Messages arrive instantly. Promises are made effortlessly. But then reality arrives. The excitement fades. Challenges emerge. Flaws become visible. And suddenly the relationship demands something deeper than emotion. It demands commitment. This is where many people disappear. Because genuine love requires attention even when it is inconvenient. It requires patience even when frustration appears. It requires understanding even when disagreement exists. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once observed that people often mistake possession for love. Many don't love the person. They love the feeling the person gives them. And when that feeling changes, they believe love has disappeared. But true love was never just a feeling. It was a choice, a daily decision, a conscious act of caring. That's why the 2 questions we've discussed are so revealing. Are you okay? What can I do for you? These questions require emotional maturity. They require someone to step outside their own needs long enough to see yours. Unfortunately, modern life encourages the opposite. Social media teaches people to perform rather than connect. Many conversations become competitions. People wait for their turn to speak instead of listening. They seek attention rather than understanding. As a result, genuine emotional presence becomes increasingly rare, and rare things become valuable. Think about your own life. How many people regularly ask how your heart is doing? How many genuinely want to know? How many are willing to help when your answer isn't positive? The number is usually much smaller than we expect, and that's not necessarily tragic. It's revealing because life has a strange way of exposing who truly cares. Storms reveal what sunshine cannot. Difficult seasons uncover the difference between companions and spectators. When everything is going well, many people want to stand beside you. When life becomes heavy, only a few remain. And those few often ask the same two questions, not because they learned them from a book, not because they want praise, but because real love naturally becomes curious about your well-being and committed to your support. The greatest relationships are not built upon constant excitement, they are built upon consistent care, and consistent care always asks, "Are you okay? What can I do for you?" Part 4. The final lesson. Become the person who asks these questions. The greatest discovery is not finding someone who loves you. The greatest discovery is becoming someone capable of loving deeply. By now, you may be thinking about someone, maybe a person who always checked on you when nobody else did, maybe a friend who stayed during your darkest season, maybe a parent, a partner, a sibling, or even a stranger whose kindness arrived exactly when you needed it most. And perhaps you're also thinking about people who never asked these questions. People who claimed to care but disappeared when life became difficult. People whose words were beautiful but whose actions were empty. People who loved the idea of you more than the reality of you. That realization can be painful, but it can also be liberating. Because once you understand what genuine love looks like, you stop chasing imitations, you stop confusing attention with affection. You stop mistaking chemistry for commitment, you stop believing that grand promises are more important than consistent care. The truth is that life is far too short to spend it begging for concern from people who are unwilling to give it. The philosopher Epictetus taught that we suffer not because of events themselves, but because of our expectations about them. Many of us suffer because we expect deep love from people who have never learned how to give it. We expect emotional presence from those who are emotionally absent. We expect loyalty from those who are committed only to convenience. And when they fail us, we feel shocked. But wisdom begins when we see people clearly, not as we wish them to be, but as they truly are. The beautiful thing about this realization is that it changes your focus. Instead of asking, "Who loves me?" you begin asking, "How do I love others?" Because the deepest lesson hidden inside this video is this. The two questions are not just tests for identifying genuine love. They are instructions for practicing it. Imagine how different the world would feel if more people sincerely asked, "Are you okay?" Imagine how many lonely hearts would feel seen. Imagine how many silent struggles would finally be heard. Imagine how many people would find strength simply because someone cared enough to notice. And imagine if more people followed that question with another. What can I do for you? Not for recognition, not for reward, but out of genuine concern. The world changes when love becomes active, when care becomes visible, when compassion becomes a habit. In the end, genuine love is surprisingly simple. It is not found in dramatic speeches. It is not measured by expensive gifts. It is not proven by temporary emotions. It reveals itself through attention, through presence, through service, through concern. And more often than not, it sounds like two simple questions. Are you okay? What can I do for you? If someone consistently asks these questions, treasure them. They are rarer than you think. And if nobody is asking you these questions right now, don't let that make your heart bitter. Let it make your heart wiser. Because one day, you may become the person who asks them. And in doing so, you may give someone the very love you've always been searching for. So before you leave, ask yourself, when was the last time you truly checked on someone? When was the last time you made another person's burden a little lighter? And perhaps the most important question of all, who in your life needs to hear from you today? Because love is not merely something we receive. Love is something we choose to become. The people who truly love you may not always have perfect words, they may not always know how to fix your problems, but they will consistently care about your well-being and look for ways to support you. Remember these 2 questions. Are you okay? What can I do for you? Sometimes an entire lifetime of love can be hidden inside those simple words. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on the people who have asked you these questions and consider becoming that person for someone else today.